How do you start a dumpster rental business as a side hustle and make an extra $75,000 to $100,000 a year for your family? This is a great side hustle. It's a very popular business idea. I work with over 100 different dumpster rental companies across the country. I own a business insurance agency called Wexford Insurance. We work with probably most of the dumpster rental companies in our country. So I've talked with so many of them, and today I'm going to outline how you can start this business and where I see the owners be successful in this business, because this is a business where people kind of come and go a lot, and it is something that you can do on the side. Doesn't require a lot of your time, so it's very popular because of that. Okay, so we're going to talk through the costs associated with starting a dumpster rental business. So for a truck, we're gonna start small. So we're gonna use a $2,500 or $1,500 truck. So not a massive truck to pull a roll-off trailer. Okay, so if you already have a truck, I'm gonna assume you already have one to keep our expenses low. You're gonna need to get a roll-off trailer. Texas Pride has those. Different companies provide those roll-off trailers. I'm not paid by any of them. I'm just telling you what we see by working with numerous companies. So you're gonna get a roll-off trailer. That's gonna probably cost you $20,000 to $25,000, and then each dumpster that can go on that roll-off is about $4,000 to $5,000. Okay, so let's say we start with 4 dumpsters, and that's about 20 grand. 16 to 20 grand. We'll say 20 grand plus 25,000 for the roll-off trailer. So about $45,000 in for a website, $500 a year for a website. But if you really want to get into the website game and make sure that you show up on Google and show up on search, contractor back office really helps with websites. They're in the bio, link in the bio below. They can help make sure you show up on Google. Your insurance for the year, I would say $2,000 to $3,000 for the year, and then if you want to do some localized marketing, $2,000. So you're about $4,500 in with insurance and marketing. $500 for the insurance is about $5,000 plus about 45 in, so you're about 50,000 in to start. Now you don't have to do all that up front. You can go get a loan. You can get some financing for that. You don't have to start with 4 dumpsters. So, that's kind of a big expense, 50 grand if you're going to drop that all at once. But again, if you have extra money and you're wanting a side hustle and you're like, hey, I have a great job, I don't want to quit something. Maybe down the road I could quit this and do this full time. I know a lot of people that do it full time. They started small, grew it, and then ended up becoming a full-time gig. So hopefully that's you. We want this business to grow. Again, and if you need insurance quotes on the dumpster rental, we insure so many of them. It's so easy. So go to wexfordins.com. There's a link in the bio. Wexford Insurance is the company that I own transparently. Okay, so how much money can we make, right? That's what we want to do. That's what caught you to this video of wanting to start this side hustle. So we have 50,000 in on the expenses. How much can we profit? How much can we make? The average cost to rent a dumpster is about $500 a week, okay? So making about $500 a week per dumpster. How much money do dumpster rental companies make a year? With one dumpster being rented out for 30 weeks a year, you're making about $15,000 off that one dumpster. So, the dumpster's not going to be rented out all the time. There's going to be slow times. There's going to be times where you don't have enough dumpsters, and you're going to be like, why didn't I buy more? But the good thing is, let's just say average 30 weeks a year. That's $15,000 that you're making off that one dumpster, okay? So let's say with 5 dumpsters, we have them rented out for 30 weeks a year. At $500 a week, that's where you're going to get $75,000. Okay, so if you put $50,000 in this business with 5 dumpsters, you might be a little over 50. You're going to make 75. Okay, so this is where I would tell people, hey, look, this is a long-term investment, right? You made your money back the first year, probably with gas, maintenance, all that. 75,000. We have 25,000. You made your money back first year. You could probably make more if we did some surge pricing. That's why I'm saying you probably get up to 100,000. 100,000, you have about 50 to 60,000 in dumpsters. You made an extra 10, 15 grand, 20 grand, potentially more if you make some extra money. So the good thing is after this first year, that equipment, even if you finance it, you make more money. So if you finance, you're probably about 50, 40,000 of profit. So if you finance, you probably will end up with some more profit, but you also will be paying more for that equipment because you have a loan on it. So my viewpoint on this is if you paid it cash, you're not going to have a big ROI. But the second year after you've paid off that equipment, that's when the profitability goes up. That's when you're going to see that profitability where you're going to be making a lot more money because you paid for that stuff. So that's where you're making that $100,000 extra a year minus maintenance of 25 grand. So you're making anywhere from 50 to 75,000 in profit. Not bad for a side hustle that doesn't require a lot of upkeep. You're dropping off the dumpster 3 or 4 days later, or maybe even a week or two later, you're picking it back up, dropping it off at the service or the transfer station. So not a ton of stuff. So things that you can do to expand this business that we've seen our clients do. Start off with dumpster rental, and then naturally junk removal comes with it. Okay? So junk removal is an easy thing that you can add. A lot of times people say, hey, you just got to put it in your garage, we'll come throw it in. People will pay so much money for junk removal. I mean, if it's a big load in someone's garage, $1,000, $2,000, you're making that and you are filling up the dumpster that you already own and you're going and dropping it off. So whatever your transfer station fees are, make sure it's worth your money. Junk removal is awesome. It's great. You already have the equipment. All it does is take a little bit of man strength to throw the junk in there, okay? Dump trailer rental. So, what might be a less expensive route is instead of getting the roll-off dumpsters with a roll-off trailer, you get the actual dump trailer rental. Not going to be as big as the dumpsters, and you're going to run into some potential theft issues because it is a trailer unless you lock up the trailer, but still somebody could break that. So dump trailer rental, you could get into that, but the waste management business is not going anywhere. In fact, I think I saw a statistic that it's only expanding because people are having more trash with Amazon boxes. They have so much just trash that they need to get out of it. So this business can be semi-passive. Eventually you can hire a driver to go drop off your dumpsters and pick them up. It's always going to be needed. The business can be scaled. You continue to add more dumpsters. We insure some companies that have probably 40 to 50 dumpsters, if not more, 100 dumpsters. It's such a business that as you continue to reinvest and as the need is there, people refer you, and we see so many of our clients continue to grow in this business. It's a great business to be in. I also have a book to my right or to my left on how to start a dumpster rental business. So, this video is kind of a high level, but if you want a book on how to start a dumpster rental business, I wrote one, and that can outline everything you need to do to scale this business from one dumpster all the way up to as many as that you want. So that book is here or there, and you can follow the link in the bio. That book's only $10. $10, you can have that book, read through it, and get started today. Okay, so how do we start? After we know the revenue, after we know that, the first thing you need to do is you need to save up money for the down payments on the equipment. Get that money saved up, ready to risk that money, because that's what business is. Business is risk. So you want to risk that money, form your LLC with the federal government, get an FEIN, and then also locally at the state level, look up your state website on how to form an entity in your state. Create a website, create your social media, and purchase your insurance. Again, if you want insurance, click the link in the bio below for Wexford Insurance. We'd be happy to help you out. Create your website. If you need a website, reach out to Contractor Back Office. Very low cost to create that, so where you show up in Google, because that's the most important thing, right? I haven't talked about that yet, but the sales. We need the phone ringing. If the phone's not ringing, that's where we see a lot of people go out of business. We have people call us 2 months after starting, and they're like, yeah, it's just not a good business. There's not a big need. There's not a big need in this industry where I'm at locally. I'm going to say that right now. It's not true. Unless you're at a very, very small city, there might not be a need. But if you're in a big city, there's always a need for this. You can always gain some market share. So you have to understand that as a small business owner, you need to put a lot of time and effort into the sales, showing up on Google, getting referrals, reaching out to builders, reaching out to contractors, telling them that about your services and how you can show up on time. It's the sales that keeps your business going, not your expertise, okay? Everyone can go do the business, but it's about getting that phone to ring. If you can get that phone to ring, that's what matters, okay? Find you a lawyer, a local lawyer to draft up a dumpster rental contract. You're gonna want to put on the side of the dumpster what can be thrown in, what cannot be thrown in, that you can charge them an extra fee if they put in items like paint or pollutants that they shouldn't have. So get with a lawyer and see what you can put. You can actually look online and see placards of what you can put on the side of the dumpster. And with a dumpster rental contract, the client will sign that, and they will be saying, hey, this is what we are abiding by to make sure that our dumpster rental business is protected from somebody putting things in there that we don't want them to, okay? Make connections with contractors, local builders, implement local marketing, and get your business going. This is such a great business. I really like it. We've had a lot of people that do really well in this business. So again, how can you interact with me further? I talk with business owners all day long. I'm a coach for business owners who are wanting to start. I'm a mentor for business owners who are wanting to scale. Me personally, I've grown my insurance agency. We've grown over the last 5 years exponentially, so I understand business. We work with so many different business owners. So if you're wanting somebody to lean on to get advice from, you can reach out to me. There's a link below to where you can create a mentor relationship with me and my team, and we can get you on the right track to get you growing your business. We see so many successful people, and we want to get you. We want to get you some of that success. We want to get you scaled and get you going so you can grow that business. If this business idea, you listen to it, it's not for you. You want to find another business, no big deal. I have a book, Your Next Business, right here. It might be blocked by the book, the Dumpster Rental book, but it might not be. I'll probably put the Dumpster Rental book over here. Nate Jones, Your Next Business. That will help you find a business idea. It helps you rate different businesses, and you can find a business that works for you and how to scale that business to $1 million. So how to find a business idea and scale it to $1 million. That's what Your Next Business is about. That book is only $5. You can buy that book. So these are all just resources to help you become better. These resources aren't something that I'm getting rich off of. They're just making it worth my time to put effort into videos like this. Everything on my channel is a resource to help you get better, more successful, and make more money in business. I always end my videos like this: get you some equity. If you have equity and you grow that equity, equity is a business that has value. You grow that business, you can sell that business and have financial freedom someday. So as always, please like and subscribe, and take care.